Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is R by G4. I'm so excited to have you guys back here with me today. We have a lot of things to talk about. So, like, subscribe, comment down below everything you think about this video, and discussions that you want to have about Earth2. I'll be gladly happy to respond back to you guys. So, if you're new, welcome. Help me spread the message of Earth2 throughout all social media platforms. Let's inform the people about virtual reality and its potential to keep on growing. Because right now we're going through a hyper growth stage. We're seeing Earth2 growing at a really fast rate, but there's so much more to go. And we want to bring in more people to the community, and so that we can all benefit, and so that we can make this reality happen, and we could improve on a daily. So I'll put down a promo code that you could use when you buy tiles in Earth2. You'll get back 5% back, and I'll get 5%. So help support the channel, and I'll gladly appreciate it. Comment down your referral codes also below. Let's get straight to it, guys. So a lot of things have been happening throughout the global economy, especially here in the United States. I'm gonna talk about a topic that is mentioned a lot, especially during market distress, you could say, when things are not going parabolic, or when things don't go straight up, or when there's a change in the direction of the market. Let's say it's a bull market, and then we see a change into the bear market, and let's say a new wave of investors that have been buying in the bull market and haven't experienced a bear market before. Well, it's a moment of truth. If you're in a bull market and you're constantly, showing off your gains, if you're you're new to the game and you're constantly showing off your gains, and you've only seen green, you've hardly seen any red, because you're in a moment where it's a bull market and everybody's winning. Well, in this scenario, it's really tricky, because if you're constantly winning and you have been through a period of not losing in the past, well, guess what? When the markets turn its wave and it starts becoming slowly a bear market, that's when new investors get shaken out. Or you could say if they have weak hands or not, because we've heard that term all the time. The money makers, weak hands, the algos, all that, guys, all that. So we've seen an alarming rate of tweets of people saying, oh, they're losing, they don't know what to do, because these are new investors that have just came into the game, and they're like, well, I'm losing and I'm probably getting shaken out, or they're buying on margin. And why am I mentioning this in an Earth2 video? Well, let me tell you something. Markets aren't always going to be green, and markets aren't always going to be red. But we don't know how long a specific market is going to last. If it's going to be a short term, long term, a month, 3 months, a couple of days, a short term period. Well, it doesn't matter. But when things like this happen, when the tide of the market turns, because we hit all-time highs recently in the SPY, in the SP 500, and everybody was winning. But if we look over here on the 1 hour chart, March 2nd, March 1st, the SP 500 was around 390, and it hit recently 371 on March 4th. That's a pretty big decrease. Not that much, but it's a significant decrease, where it pulls down a lot of stocks with it. And when a constant trend starts happening, people always question, because people were questioning a lot during the coronavirus pandemic, especially late February, early March. What are the safe haven stocks? What are the safe haven investments? How can I store my money and still gain some return on it and not leave cash laying around? Because, guys, when you have cash laying around, let's say it's you gain a lot of money in a bull market, right? And you're constantly winning on your money, and you're constantly getting a return on your money that you've invested. When the tide turns and it becomes, let's say, a bear market. I'm not saying this is a bear market. I'm just saying in a scenario where it will, if it ever becomes a bear market, where we see a decent amount of time in a red zone, then you either pull your money out of the trading, or you leave your stocks there and you continue receiving significant losses. The thing with taking your cash out and leaving it, let's say you just leave it in your bank account, well, you're not getting any returns on it. So cash is king, right? But when let's say inflation occurs, we don't know when inflation will occur, if it's occurring right now with so much money being printed. So is your money really your money won't stay the same if inflation is increasing. Your money actually gonna lose value. So what are stock safe havens usually? The usual safe havens are gold and silver, which are precious metals, various precious metals, but those are the top two. Treasury funds, treasury bonds, safe haven stocks that are related to utilities. Like for example, like electricity companies that are necessary to for a daily basis, food. Those are like the main ones. What if I told you that there's another safe haven investment that you could create and have to diversify your portfolio? What if I told you could have virtual real estate property? What if I told you could have land in a virtual reality setting where eventually you could create, build, rent to other players, or create whatever you want to own in a different world that is identical to the Earth, but you're gaining money on the return? Because let's say you buy tiles in a certain country. Let's take an example. Let's say I buy tiles in Spain. Currently right now, a tile in Spain, one tile that are 10 by 10 are going for $7. Approximately like a month ago or a month and a half ago, those tiles were going for $3. So if you invested 100 tiles at $3, and that would be $300. Currently, those same tiles would be $700 in a month and a half. So you're making money on a different investment other than stocks, and you're diversifying your portfolio in a different scenario and in a different market that is right now just starting to grow. It's often compared to Bitcoin in its early stages and its parabolic growth that could occur. So, what if I told you could diversify your portfolio? You have, let's say, your stocks. Let's say you have a diversified portfolio of precious metals. Whatever. Let's say you have Bitcoin, which is the new term of safe haven investments, and like crypto and all that good stuff. What if I told you to have virtual real estate as well? What if I told you that? Because at the same time that drop occurred, the market in Earth2 did not decline. It just keeps on steadily increasing. But keep in mind, we're still in the early phases, but we're seeing return on our money. So if you wanted to, let's say we're in a bear market, you take out money from the stock. Well, if you don't want to leave your cash laying around, you could always invest in virtual real estate. But keep in mind, this is just my opinion. This is not financial advice. This is just so you can have an idea of what how you think outside the box, and to introduce maybe the stock trader community, and maybe spread the word, and maybe have a different perspective of, oh, well, you know what? I did not know that existed, because a lot of people don't know. They don't know. So let me show you. I use a website called Earth2 data.com. This is in a 30-day period. So in a 30-day period, we've had countries double in price. Even they've done 100% gains and even 200%, as you can see right here. The other ones are really, they've gone up a lot, but let's go with more realistic growth right here. Those are really parabolic, but let's take a look at the majority at a consistent base. So look, let's look at, for example, San Marino. San Marino is currently trading at $1.11. 30 days ago, it was trading for 47 cents, and ever since a week ago, people have been buying it up, and people are constantly buying it up because there's a scarce amount of tiles available to purchase, because it's a small country that is within another country, within Italy. So San Marino, for example, it's mentioned a lot because it has the characteristics of a country named Vatican City, also known as the Holy See. And the Holy See right now is one of the most expensive tiles in the game, and they're going for a lot of money. Recently, somebody on my previous video, somebody bought, I believe, a total of 80 tiles for like $5,000. So this is just one example. 7 days ago, it was trading for 56 cents. It almost doubled in price in a 7-day period. At the same time, the SP 500 was decreasing. So what does this tell you? As the SP 500 it decreases, it does not have an effect of the virtual real estate property market that's on Earth2, and so far it's having a different. It does not follow the SP 500. So that makes it a safe haven. At this very moment, we don't know about the future. I'm just talking about right now. So, think outside the box. And if you know a lot of stock traders out there, and you know a lot of, let's say, weak hands or some sort, if you want to play it safe, think about having some money in a different market as well, which is the virtual real estate. Because it's big. A lot of you people don't know that Logan Paul, one of social media's biggest influencers at this very moment, that is related to a lot of ways to making money. Logan Paul has been buying Earth2 on the low. There's been a lot of clips on YouTube of him buying, a lot of clips on Twitch, but he hasn't mentioned it on his page personally yet. He's being low key. So I believe once a big investor or a big social media influencer starts buying and starts spreading the word, this is when more hyper growth will occur, even though the game is steadily increasing on the daily. But as you can see, it's not just San Marino. We have a lot of countries growing in a 30-day period. We have all these countries right here. Puerto Rico, Aruba, Trinidad Tobago, the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands, a lot of you know. Cayman Islands is a lot of millionaires living there because it's like a tax haven over there, I believe. But let's take a look at Thailand. Thailand has had an increase in the 30 days of, I believe, about 65 cents. That's maybe like a 30% gain. 30% gain is pretty decent if you have if you have money invested in the stocks and you have money invested in a different market. So let's say you're losing in the stock market, you could be increasing on the virtual real estate property that you own. So it's a win-win situation. I mean, not win-win. I mean, the loss in one side of your investment will be lifted due to the gain on the other end of your portfolio. So you're not really losing money. So what do you think? What do you think? For the people that are in Earth2, do you think Earth2 is a safe haven investment? Is this topic really interesting to you? Do you think this is good enough to convince a lot of stock traders to bring and to introduce them to the VR community, to the metaverse? I think this is really important. This is really crucial. Because instead of the regular, own gold, own silver, well, the future's here. And the future's going to keep on growing. And the future's going to keep on accelerating in its growth. And there's going to be new technologies on a daily. There's going to be a lot of gadgets and technology gear that will make the virtual reality is so realistic compared to real life that you're not gonna know what's the difference between real life and the game. So, Earth2, guys. Earth2 is huge, really huge. There's a market. It's constantly growing. It's having a lot of updates. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening in the game. We even have, look at those. Look at the top. Look at all those countries. Those are the games ever since the game have released. The U.S. right now is one of the most expensive tiles in the game. Italy finally broke $15. Yeah, guys. A lot of growth. A lot of growth. You guys gotta think outside the box. And for those of you that are new to the community, by the way, if you're interested in thinking about, oh, okay, so the U.S. is expensive, I'm wondering how much Dubai is or Saudi Arabia is. Well, for those of you that are new to the community, well, they're gonna go on sale this for the first time within a week. They're gonna go on sale. They're gonna be a 24-hour countdown, and keep an eye on that. So look at the SP 500 in a week. I'm just showing this just so you have an idea, but I'm not saying we're in a bear market. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying while this was going down a little bit, it had no effect on Earth2. No effect at all. And we have various countries in the game increasing. Daily average new land tile price in Thailand. Look at how it increases every day. Every day it increases. Look at that. It increases on a steady growth. I'm not saying it's going to keep on going forever, but these tiles are really cheap. And if more people get on the game, guys, well, start preparing. Look at Italy, guys. Italy in 30-day period. A month ago, it was going for $13 a tile. Now it's going for $15 a tile. Around 15% growth. 15% growth. So, guys, I hope this made you think differently. I hope it made you more interested in the game. It made you more interested in maybe diversifying a portfolio, or maybe thinking, oh, you're right. Well, there are different ways of making money on the side instead of the stock market. Because it's not always gonna be green days in the stock market. It's not always gonna be red days in the stock market. We know that. But whatever it is, whatever side it's going, you'll still be gaining on the other side. So let's take a look at Earth2, just so you have for the tiles. Tiles vary depending on the country that you buy. There's so much creativity going on that I was looking at Bahrain, at one of the Middle Eastern countries in the Persian Gulf. There are even people creating supposedly diamond islands in the water. So people are getting creative. They're starting to get ideas from the palm trees of Dubai, and they're spreading it with different shapes and different styles depending on the creativity of the creator. So as we can see, there's a lot of creativity going on. So yeah, what do you think, guys? You agree with me? Earth2, safe haven investment? If it is, spread the word. Spread the word out there. Let us introduce the stock market community into this, and hopefully you learned something, guys. Have a great night. Comment down below what you think. Thank you. Bye.